Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Game number 4 between Tarson and Naugrim. And this time we are on Shakur's Plateau, the version of the map without those destructible rocks in the back. This is basically the new ladder version of this map. And what a series it has been so far, guys. This was a good series for me to cast, I would have to say. I am not disappointed, and I doubt you guys are. Actually, you may be disappointed, or you may just be trolling. In that case, you can GTFO. That's what you can do. So anyways, yes, let me do one more drink recipe. I'm going to be trying to keep up this trend in this series. This time, let's look at the Grateful Dead. Now, the Grateful Dead is basically a variation of one of my favorite drinks, the Long Island iced tea. What it's going to be is it's going to be 1 part tequila, 1 part vodka, 1 part light rum, 1 part gin, and then 1 part Chambord raspberry liqueur. A lot of times you're going to see some sour mix in there as well. You can add that in if you don't want it to be 100% liquor. But yeah, it's a great drink. It's almost the same as a Long Island, except you add in Chambord basically. But really nice, really enjoyable beverage. And yes, game number 4, Naugrim and Tarson here on Shakur's Plateau. Wow, it's been a great series. It's been a long series, though, I'll tell you. Jeez, a little bit killer for me. We can see right now, actually, Tarson, very interesting placement here on this barracks. Yeah, very interesting placement. That's kind of all there is to say about it. What I will say, what I'm thinking may happen, if he's not going to be going for another 2 racks push. Actually, yes, he may very well be doing that. It looks like he may, yeah, looks like he's going to be doing that. Because what's going to happen here is the Overlord of Naugrim is going to push on in. He's going to see the fact that, okay, there's no refinery. He's going to move on up here, and he's going to then see the fact that there's no barracks. But what's then going to happen is he's probably going to check an additional corner, and that's going to buy Naugrim, it's going to buy Tarson just enough time to get that first Marine out to actually kill that Overlord. But no, actually, Naugrim pushing back. He's just going to be using that drone to scout. Is he going to see that? No, he has not seen that barracks. He did not see that go down. He's going to see the lack of barracks, though, but he's not going to know where it is, and that is hilarious. He just missed a barracks being placed down right there. So we're going to see another 2 racks push here from Tarson. Let's see if this can be more effective than it was last game. No gas coming up right now for Naugrim. He did get 2 racks last game. Last game, too, Tarson did a lot of damage with it. It was a very, very impressive 2 racks. Even with the fact that Naugrim was prepared with some great micro with those Marines, he was just able to lay the hurt down on what Naugrim had. He killed so many Marines. He forced no drone production. And that was just a very, very nice start to the game. Unfortunately, though, Tarson did lose last game. Again, this is game number 4 in this series. I think I've said that like 10 times now, so I'll try not to repeat that anymore. So yes, right now Naugrim, he knows a push is coming. He saw no racks at the front of Tarson's base. He doesn't know where this proxy racks is yet, but he's expecting these Marines. So you can see he's coming out with 2 queens. Proper move. He's coming out with 8 Zerglings as well. I would really like to see some Spinecrawler placement, but it looks like Naugrim's not going to be doing that quite as of yet. Here come that first wave of Marines right now with that SCV. Those Marines need to be careful, though. He wants to wait for a little reinforcements. I think these 3 should be enough, though, to deal with those Zerglings. And there is that Spinecrawler placement. That's exactly what Naugrim needs. That Spinecrawler can basically make it so that Tarson's push isn't nearly as effective. Now, Tarson's going to want to try to get down these Zerglings and then kill off that Spinecrawler. All Naugrim's trying to do right now is buy himself time to let that Spinecrawler get up. He's got a few more Zerglings coming out, 4 more. In fact, we do have that Queen coming out here as well, so Marine's going to continue up to push right now. Going to be trying to target fire down that Queen. Needs to be careful about those Zerglings, though. The last thing you want is a surround. Trying to micro back, doing a pretty good job right now, killing off a lot of those Zerglings. Again, keep in mind, though, all Naugrim is doing is buying the Spinecrawler time. As soon as the Spinecrawler up, this Marine push is stopped. There you go. Spinecrawler pops. Marine's going to be forced to push back right now, and I wouldn't be surprised if he just walked back home. Knowing that that Spine is up now, he knows he can't do any damage. That Spine just demolishes those unupgraded Marines this early in the game. So, yeah, just going to be chilling out right here, and actually may even just be keeping these Marines here just to stop any counter Zergling push for now. What? Okay, Tarson. That is not what you wanted to do. I know that is not what you wanted to do. I'm very sad to see that miss micro. He lost that Marine incredibly unnecessarily. Maybe he was scouting them. Maybe he was just wanting to see if there was a ton of Zerglings being produced. I don't know. Maybe I'm not saying he doesn't know what he's doing. He's obviously a much better player than myself. Not that I'm bad, but my God, these professional players are just ungodly good. 2 racks continuing to pump up those Marines. He's just actually going to be using those for early game defense. There's that factory. So not going to be switching to super bio heavy. Going to be getting up that factory. Wants to get up that tech. Probably wants to start to get up those tanks over here as well. Taking a look inside of Naugrim's base. He hasn't even started mining any gas yet. He's just been really focused focus at this point in droning up, given the fact that he was forced to make so many Zerglings just to defend himself. He wants to try to compensate for that and the lost basically mining time by droning up pretty hard. You can see 8 drones coming out. He's really not worried about a big push. He knows his Marines are nowhere near upgraded. He knows there's not a lot of tech out right now for Tarson, so he's feeling pretty safe. We do have that Overlord Scout. Going to be spotting that factory is just now finishing. So he's got a good idea timing-wise. He knows that starport isn't out yet, hasn't even started building. So there you go. And starport just going to be going down right now. Another Spinecrawler coming up here as well for Naugrim. Maybe a little bit worried about some possible Hellion harassment. That second spine's going to make it so that any Hellions that try to push in here get absolutely worked on before they get anywhere near that mineral line. And here goes that Roach Warren. So not going to be following it up with Banelings. Actually going to be deciding to go with Roaches this time. We do have that Stim Pack coming down over here for Tarson. The Expo, as expected, with any 2-rack push. He followed up with an Expo right after. That Expo is up and running right now. He's got a couple, just one more refinery actually over here at that Expo. So he's got 3 refineries running right now. There's that starport and actually that reactor coming up. Well, let's see. Is he going to be going for a quick drop? I think he is. So I'm expecting to maybe see 1 medevac and a Viking or 2 medevacs. And 2 medevacs, there you go. So he's going to be going for a heavy Marine stim drop to follow this up. And that, of course, can be very effective. We can see another refinery coming down. So after this drop, he's going to be switching into a little more Vespian heavy. Being up and running with 4 refineries is quite a bit as a Terran player, unless you're going for really high tech. So he's not probably going to be going too bio heavy. At the very least, going to be getting up some siege tanks, maybe even getting a second factory at some point. It might be a little early right now, but anyways, it's probably coming. So here we go, Marines getting ready to hop right inside of those medevacs. As soon as those pop out, medevacs missing their target a little bit there. So let's take a look over here for Naugrim. What has he got going on? Well, the layer is up and finished. He also has the Spire coming. Now prepared for a possible drop. Look at that, Naugrim. Very nice of you. That's not a Spire. What am I doing? That's a crawler. Where is that Spire? It's somewhere over here. There's that Spire. So yeah, Spire is coming, but these Stim Marines do have an opportunity to do a lot of damage. Now we do have actually Naugrim's going to be working on these back destructible rocks, but here it comes. Let's see how effective this drop's going to be. Actually might be trying to go on the low ground, and yes, in fact he is going to be getting some free kills over here, I think, of at least 1 Overlord, maybe that second there as well. Does he get it? Actually no, deciding not to do that. Going to be moving on across right now. Let's see how effective he is with this. Again, he has an opportunity to do lots of damage right now. I'm going to be trying to target fire down as many Overlords as possible. He's basically going to try to do damage and pick up as soon as any threatening Zerglings come in. Here they go, Zerglings coming on in, so going to want to micro back, pick them up, and then just head on back somewhere else. We can actually see Naugrim coming out with the 3rd right now. He knows that this Expo is out, so he does want up that 3rd. Let's see what's transitioning is going on here for Tarson. He does have, there is that second factory right there, also coming out with a few more barracks. Again, being on these two extra refineries at this expansion starts to give him a little bit extra Vespian. So again, that second factory is going to let him actually use that much more easily, use up all that extra Vespian to get out some more tanks. More. Why would I say something like that? That doesn't even... That's very silly, sir. Marine's going to be heading on across the board right now. Do we have that combat shield coming? It's not up, and it's not building either, so not going with... I'm a little surprised here. I'm a little surprised that Tarson isn't researching that combat shield. That seems, I don't know, just a little baffling to me, especially since he is so Marine heavy. Would actually really like to see that. Now, we do have 2 more medevacs coming out with some tanks as well as these Marines, so going to be seeing some continuous dropping here. And, needs to be careful with these mutas in play, dropping down these Marines to deal with those mutas as much as possible. But there are too many Zerglings mopping up all the Marines, and then those mutas actually going to be taking out these tanks here as well. Tanks taking care of the rest of the Marines, but it wasn't enough. Some mutas managing to take out all of those tanks, almost dropping down that medevac. Actually just going to hit that medevac first and then pull back for that tank once that is done, and there you go. Tarson's drop didn't work that effectively, unfortunately. Those mutas for Naugrim hitting him just in the nick of time. Managed to catch some of those Marines that were still in that medevac before they had dropped, so he was able to drop up the Marines that were already on the ground. He was able to mop up those Marines already on the ground much more easily. Naugrim does have this 3rd right now up and running. Centrifugal hooks coming out for Naugrim, so going to be playing some Baneling heavy game again, getting an in-base hatch over here, allowing him to get some additional larvae. And yeah, so muta harassment I expect to commence right now. I expect to see quite a bit of muta harassment go down wherever he can find the opportunity. Needs to be careful, of course, of those turrets. There's going to be turrets probably placed everywhere here from Tarson. That is the best base defense that he can really do without spreading himself too thin on his Marines. Drop is actually going to be going down. Does he know about this expansion? No, he doesn't, but he might actually catch that, and if he does, this is going to be really good. He can drop right on that, take that out very quickly, and oh my gosh. Look at that. He is fully prepared and aware of this, even without scouting it. He scouted over here. He saw the lack of expo, so he expects it over here. And there's that stim. Going to be first taking down that queen if he can, but no, queen's going to get away, so he's probably just going to go straight for that hatchery instead. And this is not looking good. Does he have enough forces over here? No, he does not. Trying to move forward with those mutas, but see you later, hatchery. Naugrim losing the hatchery to Tarson's drop. Very nice. Now, Tarson's actually going to have a hard time leaving because of all these mutalisks. Needs to be careful about when he picks up those Marines and where he goes with those. Expect those Zerglings to come into play as well. But there we go. Dropping on the low ground. That's actually exactly what he needs to do. So now he will be quite okay. And once he feels safe, he's going to pick those Marines back up and then head back home. Can probably leave them there for now, though, just in case those mutas do try to engage. There are quite a few mutas here from Naugrim. No additional drops going on right now. Let's take a look in the main base here of Naugrim. Lots of turrets here in the main base of Tarson. Again, really concerned about that muta harassment. Still, those Marines going to be sitting over here. Naugrim forced to push that third down to this, the expected third position because of that drop harassment being so difficult to defend up here. At least more difficult than it is to defend this area, just because it's a little bit further of a trek for his units that are situated here in the middle. Muta is going to be moving on up and going to be trying to catch. Oh boy, picking them up just in time. There's that scan, spotting down that attempted fourth placement here. So the Marine's going to be dropping again. And here we go. Is he going to do it? I don't know if he's going to do it in time. Needs to be careful. These Zerglings are going to try to roll up on the Marines and going to force the lift off. But at the same time, the Mutas are going to move in. But no, force the cancellation. He can't pick up right now, though. He's lost all these Marines and lost that medevac as well. That's kind of what you want to avoid. But look at this at the same time. Big push coming across the middle. Lots of siege tanks, decent amount of Marines, and a ton of medevacs here as well. So Tarson going to be pushing clear across the middle at this point. There's a ton of creep spread here from Naugrim. Very nice play there. We can see Tarson does, in fact, have up this this third base right now, turning that into a planetary fortress to protect against those Marines and Banelings a little bit. Zerglings and Banelings, that's what they are. But the Muta's going to do a pretty good job of sniping off tanks if he lets them sit out of position, unsieging right now. He needs to be very careful about when he unsieges, though. With all of this creep tumor spread across the map, it's very easy for Naugrim to see exactly where those tanks are and exactly what they are doing. So that's the real danger. Muta's taking advantage of the fact that all the Marines are out of the main base here. Tarson going to be sniping off some attachments, probably trying to get the siege tank, get some depots over here as well. These Mutas are going to do a lot of damage. There are a ton of Mutas right now, and this is not good at all for Tarson. He's going to be taking heavy losses at this point in the game. Lots of workers being killed right now. Going to be forcing those Mutas back into the corner, though, once those Marines do push up. But that was some really nice harassment there from Naugrim and exactly what he wanted to do. Didn't push up with an attack to coincide with that. I almost half expected him to move here, but we can see Tarson did just leave all of his tanks here. Trying to protect them from those Mutas with what few turrets he has over here. And Tarson with the little task force over there, maybe going for an additional drop at some point. Where are those Mutas? There we go. Some Mutas going to be trying to pick off a couple more things. Here we go. Going to be going straight for that turret. Probably going to be going for some depots here as well. Trying to supply block Tarson is actually really, really effective. Just going for those first few turrets and then pulling on back home right now, though. So here we go. Naugrim is on 3 bases, but so is Tarson. Tarson's on 3 bases. Naugrim's on 3 bases. Who wins that matchup? Well, that would be Tarson. So we do want to see Naugrim go for another base. He's had a hard time picking up this 4th because of all the drops that we have been seeing from Tarson. Actually, Tarson does have this drop force ready to go at some point. Moving on down, Naugrim wants to put his units down here to try to protect this, just in case Tarson does try to go for another drop. But actually, Tarson looking to be in a solid spot right now. Let's take a look at that army tab there. About equal. Slight advantage right now going to Tarson, 108 as opposed to the 99 of Naugrim. Naugrim does have a lot of upgrades. He's got those pathogen glands coming right now, and those are going to be, of course, for those infestors, which aren't out quite as of yet. He may just wait till those are finished to come out with some infestors, giving them those extra energy when they pop up. We do have that level 2 upgrade for both the Carapace and the melee attack coming out right now for Naugrim. Naugrim can't force in a cancellation there of Tarson's possible 4th, though. But Tarson just going to be pushing out right now. Now, we've got that Hive Tech coming, and this is, again, really dangerous. I talked about this last game. They didn't come into play, but if Brood Lords come into play right now, Tarson does not have what it takes to deal with them. Yeah, he has not been a fan of Vikings so far in this series, and that is a very dangerous situation come Hive Tech at this point in the game. Muta's moving across, sniping down what they can. Going to be getting a couple attachments here, likely. Going to be just trying to do as much damage as possible. There's a big open space right here. Not a lot of turret action going down. Just that one turret going to start to go go straight to work there on those SCVs, forcing those SCVs to pull away there, trying to get within the safety of those Marines. But even those Marines are not enough. These mutas are going to be doing tremendous amounts of damage. Instead of dealing with this, we're just going to see Tarson try to push out. He's going to be going straight for this base over here. And actually, there isn't even a base over here. There's just a lot of Speedlings and Banelings. So going to be trying to engage those, but no, pulling back just in the nick of time. Muta's still in the main base right now of Tarson. Continue to go to work. Going to be killing off so many workers right now. Tarson needs to do something about this. It's so frustrating as a Terran player to deal with the speed and mobilities of these mutas, but turrets tearing these guys up. Marines forcing those mutas to pull out, and well, that was pretty dirty, huh? Forcing those Marines to pull out, but at the same time forcing them to walk right across those turrets, and that was actually really nice for Tarson because Naugrim took a lot of losses there. Some nice tank spread, but is it gonna be enough? We do have a great spread here from Naugrim of his units, just kind of all over the place, and this is a dangerous situation for Tarson. Here comes the push right now. Speedlings and Banelings rolling in first, and Fester is going to be dropping down Fungal Growth once they catch up to those Marines. Are they going to get there in time? Yes, they are. Fungal Growth going down, Speedlings and Banelings mopping up all of the units, and Naugrim just hitting from multiple angles, and not being able to focus that tank splash is a big problem as a Terran player, because when your tanks are forced to spread out to multiple areas, they don't do nearly as much damage as if they're hitting the same direction all at once. Speedling's just going to be rolling right into the main base right now. Tarson does not have the units in his main to deal with this at this point in the game. He's got a couple Marines down here. He needs to engage with those. We do have some Marines pushing across the map to try to deal with the small units of small force of mutas. But look at all of these Speedlings again. I feel like this is a repeat of the game that we saw in Crevasse. There's so many Speedlings in the main base, and Tarson just having a really hard time with these upgrade Speedlings late games. We can see those adrenal glands just about to come out as well. And once those do, these Speedlings are going to be doing so much more damage, so much quicker. Trying to push forward right now, trying to catch these Banelings before they get up, and look at that splash damage going down, but the Banelings going to be able to roll on in and follow it up with those mutas, forcing those Marines to push back just to deal with those Banelings, and allowing the mutas to drop down those tanks. Still tons of Speedlings inside of the main base, and there we go. Tarson calling the GG. So there you have it, guys. Game number 4 between Tarson and Naugrim. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Gonna be moving on to the next game in just one moment. This series has been unbelievable. So yeah, anyways, as always, if you like the content, be sure to subscribe to the channel. And as always, keep watching and keep owning.